Open up your brown book, baby. It's for you, it's for us. The fantasies, no one can judge us, no one can judge us. This is for us. Open up your brown book, baby. It's for you.
Hey y'all, hey, it's your girl Shay Baby with the Brown Book series. And as I promised y'all, I told y'all we was gonna have a USA Today's best-selling author, and y'all was like, "No, you're not, Shay." And I was
Where's she
like,
at?
"You right here." Quarter, quit playing, ladies and gentlemen. Brown Book, please welcome Miss Kwana Jackson.
Thank you.
How are you, darling?
I'm doing okay. As far as circumstances will say, I'm doing pretty good. I'm actually
You,
doing great. Thank
you
you.
doing
I'm
great?
I'm healthy, so you know what? I'm doing great.
Yo, that's half the battle right there. You
Yep,
won.
that's half the battle right there. I'm doing really good.
I want to thank you so much for coming on with us. You are just
Oh,
awesome.
thank you for having me. I'm excited. I'm
Girl, you,
excited.
me too. I was like,
I've
what
heard about you from a lot of my friends who are fans.
what they say? They said something good, I hope.
They said fantastic things. I did my research. I
Oh,
was like, should I do this? And they were like, you definitely should do this. I said, I don't like to do these things. They were like, you definitely should. You're going to have a great time.
I love them. They so cool.
They
Oh,
all love you.
I
So
appreciate
you've got a huge fan base out there amongst the author community, just to let you know.
Oh
So
man,
you're a huge star.
if I
Thank you for
wasn't,
having me.
if I didn't think my eyelashes gonna come off, I would literally cry right now.
Well, keep them on just for this little bit of time, and then you can take
Okay,
them off later. I just wanted to
okay.
let you know that the author streets are talking, and they all love you. So thank you very much for all that you do.
Oh, thank you. They just made my day. Okay, come me get better.
We appreciate it. We appreciate it, and we appreciate you.
Thank you, Kwana. You're the best. See, you're the top of my list. I love you. So
Thank you.
Kwana, okay. So you're familiar with Brown Book. We like to we keep it all the way 100.
Okay, let's do it.
We get
That's
a
how I
little
like to keep it too.
you my type of girl. That's what I'm talking about. So I hear
Listen,
you,
people don't know what's behind these smiles.
we about to find out. I'm about to find out. It's a smile it is, girl. A beautiful smile.
Thank you.
Well, listen, so I hear you from New York.
I am.
Are you born and raised? Because everybody be like, I'm from New York. I'm like, but
Listen,
you
I don't go for that. I am born and raised New Yorker, born
okay.
in the middle of Manhattan. Roosevelt Hospital, which is no longer there, was on 59th Street, I believe it was. It's renamed now. So I am born and raised New York, Manhattan, Harlem girl,
Oh,
and Washington Heights. Yeah. So yeah,
oh,
I'm a New Yorker. I tell people jokingly, but not so much jokingly, that I bleed. You cut me, I bleed New York, and
don't
that's it.
understand. So are you
Yeah.
a sports fan though? Are you into sports?
No, not really. But I'm such a New Yorker that I stand the New York team. So it is what it is. Growing up, I'm a Yankee fan. I'm a Knicks fan.
Mm,
I go to the game, so I always cheer for my team. But it's like, it is what it is. You
it
can,
is what it is.
it's not like I religiously watch the games, but I definitely go. You give me tickets, I'm going and I'm cheering. As a kid, my grandmother and grandfather were huge Yankee fans, and since I'm a Harlemite, we would go to the old Yankee stadiums. When the tickets were affordable,
Hmm.
we would take a bunch of us kids and walk to Yankee Stadium, go to the top to the bleachers, and like have picnics up there and things like. So this is my childhood. So yeah.
It's crazy because I have a lot of friends that are from New York, and they all have basically said the same thing too. They would go to the stadiums and have picnics at the top of the bleachers.
We would take coolers. You could take food in at the time. We would walk, and we would drag our coolers along and walk across to the walkway, drag our coolers, go through the thing. This is my experience as a kid. So I'm that kind of,
Yeah.
everybody knows my age because after I'm past 50, I tell people now I'm 50 now. So it's like, I was one of those Reggie Jackson kids. growing up. So yeah, that's how I am. So I'm, New York through and through with the Yankees, and heartbreak with the Knicks. But you know what? I'm still going to
It
hang
is
with
what
those
it is.
doggone Knicks, and I'm going to hang with them. My husband's from Savannah, and he likes to tell people, that he's a New Yorker. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Oh,
Just because you sleep with a New Yorker doesn't make you a New Yorker, honey. But whatever you want to say.
he's a Georgia boy.
Yes, he
So,
is.
so we better cheer for them damn Falcons and quit playing. Them sorry
I, I,
Falcons.
I don't even know what that is. I don't understand. I don't see. I'm one of those New York snobs. I'm like, I don't understand what teams are from other states.
You know,
Oh, Atlanta Falcons. Oh, Atlanta Falcons. I get it now. Oh, okay.
it's crazy because my husband's from Maryland. So now, we believe Redskins through and through. But I was just like, and then we're here in Boston. So everything is Patriots. I don't think they even know
Oh my goodness.
another team. Everything is Patriots. Everything.
You cannot mess with Boston fans, which is
Girl.
why I will probably just drive straight through because I'm not trying to get in fights.
Girl, I don't even play with them. Not at all. We went to a
No, you
Celtics
cannot.
game. Right. I
Yeah.
told my husband, boy, you better not put on that Wizards jersey. I'm not gonna fight up in here.
You got to be ready to tumble if you mess with Boston fans.
Exactly. It's
You
so
got to be
crazy
ready
though.
to rumble and tumble.
Ready to rumble, but I love it here. So when they be like, "Go Patriots," I'd be like, I don't say nothing. I just
You
wave.
just sit there. You like, I'm just gonna sit here, eat my food,
Mind my
start rocking
business.
back and forth. That's the best way to do it. You got to know your lane and know when to fold.
That's exactly what I
I'd
do.
probably do the same thing unless I had my crew with me. I wouldn't say anything.
You know how we do. We get our crew with us, and it's like, what? ATL.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah,
I would just hush then. I
yeah.
wouldn't do
Other than that, I just be rocking. Oh, that's cute. Mm.
That's nice.
Okay.
Hey, but I still wouldn't put on a jersey.
Yeah,
I
no,
would
no, no.
still refuse to put on a jersey.
Yeah,
My
no.
husband actually likes the Mets, so we're a mixed household.
Okay.
He
Hmm.
likes the Mets. Yes, listen, I don't know why, but I'm so strong that I refuse to put on Mets paraphernalia. Even if he buys it for me, I won't do it.
Back in the day, because I was just into sports, so I liked the Mets back in the day because I loved Daryl Strawberry and Dwight
Hmm.
Goodman and all of them. So
Hmm.
I was like that, I liked them back in the day. Then I got
I like them as people, but I'm
yeah,
still like nah.
you like they cool people, but no, that's about it. Mets, I love it. Okay, Kwana. So, question,
Okay,
honestly.
okay,
So you always lived in New York?
yes.
And if you
I live in
had to,
Westchester County now, which is still New York, a half hour outside of the city. But yes, I've always lived in New York.
okay, so honestly, if you had to move, would you?
Okay,
You said no, you wouldn't?
if I had to move, okay.
Would you move from New York? If they'd be like, you know what? It's a better opportunity. You can sell like 1 million books if you move to like, I don't know, Wisconsin somewhere. Would you be like, nope, it's New York. You cut me, it's New York. That's it. It's a wrap. Or would you be like, you know what? I'll leave my city and embrace a whole
I
nother.
I would want to keep my place in New York. We talk about this often, my husband and I.
Oh,
It's
you want to
we
move?
be, him being from Savannah, and he would love to have like some, maybe retire someplace else and things like that. I would never want to give up my place in New York. So I could see having a second, if I would somehow get suddenly rich and sell 1 million books somewhere and be able to do it. I would never want to give up my place in New York, but maybe have a alternate place somewhere else, somewhere beautiful by the water with a great view, or a villa in Tuscany, or some great place that's some lovely fantasy place. I would love to have that as a second place, but still have my home in New York.
Okay.
I
Okay.
still feel like I would need that connection. I'm such a strange. I'm strange about it. I don't know why. What has New York done and given me? But I guess it's giving me everything. It's just home. It feels like home. It's really weird. It's just a strange thing. Yeah, and it's the older I get, it's a tough situation. When you're married to someone not from New York who also feels a connection to home somewhere else. So I don't know
Yeah.
how we gonna work this out.
Girl, listen, me and
I've
my
been winning for 30 years, over 30 years, so we're gonna see. We're gonna see what's gonna happen.
don't let the person
We actually had this conversation in bed the other night, and I was like, I'll come visit you.
Don't let the pandemic break y'all up. Don't be. Don't let the pandemic do it, Kwana.
Listen, I don't think 30 something years. I don't think it's. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna break us up. He gets a
That's
little
a
cold at
long.
night. He
That's
gets
a
cold.
long.
He be right there. Huh?
He be,
It's a long
yeah.
time.
30 years is a long time. I'm telling you. After 30 days, I was like, "Hey, can we get enough? Who did this?
Oh, I was like that after 30 days too. Listen, I'm like that every day. Everybody's like that every day. That's marriage.
So it don't
That's
get
normal.
better.
Uh,
Okay, so
It,
it don't get
it
better,
gets it gets better. There's plenty of better days. There's tons of better days. There's tons of worse days. There's better days. It's just how it is. I
girl.
think there's more better days. There's more better. I'll tell you this. There's more better days than there are worse days.
You know what? I can say that. I can really say that too.
There you go.
Yeah, it's been, but them worst days, I'd be like, Jesus, what? Cut the cameras. What is?
Yeah. Just don't have any weapons around you. That's all I can tell you.
Listen,
Keep all weapons out of reach, and you'll be fine.
I just sit there and rock.
Yep.
Just sit
Keep
there
all
and rock.
weapons out of reach, and you'll be okay. Just know that yes, there are going to be worse those worst days, but there are better days, so it's worth it.
You
Listen, I don't know how we made it to 31 years now. I think it's 31 years, something like that. I don't know.
wow, girl, that's what's up. Congratulations, honey. I'm trying to
Oh,
get
thank
there.
you.
I'm trying to get
Thank you. But listen, each day is a trial. I'm like, listen, you might not make it to tomorrow.
there. And when they make it, you be like, okay, we did good.
Another day, another day. So hey, that's good. You know what? But that's just marriage. That's just marriage or any sort of relationship. It's not all. It's not it's not a romance novel.
This is true. And speaking of romance novels, why did you decide? Okay, listen. First of all, you were into fashion, right?
Yes.
Okay, so did you have your own fashion company or did you just
Oh,
design?
I wish no, never. Um, I had well, growing up, I had dreams of like working for a fancy company or having my own line in my own company. But like like with a lot of these dreams for us Black women, it's kind of hard without the backing and the capital and things like that. And I worked for a couple of mid-level houses.
Okay.
And mid to low. I'll say mid to low. I always like to think of that movie. Um, Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead with Christina Applegate. When she has these fashion dreams and she ends up working for designing like school uniforms, that thing. And she goes, and my favorite line from that, she goes, I thought this was a fashion company. And that was like my fashion realization coming out of FIT. Before I'll like go backwards really quickly. Before going to FIT, I went to Stuyvesant,
Okay.
which was a math and science school. I didn't want to go to the math and science school. I wanted to go to fashion and design in New York. In New York, you would be tested for these schools,
Oh
but,
wow.
but and I got into art and design, and but I also got into the Stuyvesant, which was the math and science school, because I was kind of a mathy kid too. And my mother was like, "You're going to Stuyvesant. You're smart. You're going to Stuyvesant." Like, oh, I don't want to go there, but I had to go. So I did and got through that. And so I was a huge reader and, also math and science. And so I had two dreams, sort of like these dreams of being a writer. I always dreamt of maybe being a writer, and I always wanted to be a designer. So I was sort of, kid, didn't know what I wanted to do. Um, the designer dream stayed with me. And after high school, I took the test to go to FIT.
Okay.
It was between FIT and Parsons. Parsons was a private college. Could not afford that. So
Mm.
I was a girl from Harlem from the projects, so that wasn't happening. But
Right.
I got grants to go to FIT, and I got into FIT, did my portfolio and all of that kind of stuff, and went there. And when it was time to look for jobs, I got an associate degree there, and couldn't go on for 4 years. I didn't have grants to go on for 4 years to get a bachelor's degree. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go and get a job, and I got a job at a small company, a Turkish company, and I became their women's sportswear and sweater designer, which
Oh.
great. It was greatish and fine. Very busy though. It was a very no. Before that job, I worked for Van Heusen. I worked
Mm.
for Van Heusen for many years. Went doing. sportswear for the outlet stores
Okay.
as an assistant. It was a
That's,
tough, grueling job.
that's
Hmm?
a big name.
It was a big name for menswear,
Yeah, for
a
me.
big
Yeah.
menswear name, but they had outlet stores did women's wear and things like that. So I was an assistant and sort of doing a lot of assistant type of stuff for not the nicest boss. We'll just leave that out of it. She's not there no more. It don't matter. And stayed there for quite a long time. And then I went to another company, um, hoping to move up, and I became the designer for this small company. And after that, I ended up having my twins.
Girl, when I read
And
twins, I was like, what? And then when
and
I read
that yeah,
how old they are, I was like, she does not look that what? Girl, bless
thank
her.
you. Yeah, that was there now 26, 26. Yeah. I had my twins and I stayed working for quite a few years until they were up into first grade. And what happened, I ended up losing my babysitter.
Oh,
And that brought me back to losing my babysitter. And I was traveling back and I was the designer for women's sportswear then and sweaters. And I was working a lot of hours and traveling to every once in a while having to travel to Turkey because all their production was in Turkey. So it was kind of hard, married twins and this and that, and then having to travel sometimes to Turkey when they would say, oh, something's wrong with the factory. We need you to go there. And then I lost my babysitter, and I went to my boss, who was a working mother herself, and I said, I just need to leave 15 to 20 minutes earlier. Maybe it was a half an hour early. I'll take my work home, but I have no sitter and to pick my kids up from after school. I'll take my work home, this and other, and they wouldn't go for it.
girl,
And I had to quit that job. I was like, what am I going to do? Leave my kids on the corner? My
hold
husband
on.
had the better health insurance,
Are you
so he couldn't quit
serious?
his job. Hmm?
15 minutes, Kwana. Are you
It
serious?
was 15. It was 15 minutes, so half an hour early, and I was taking work home anyway. I was like, I'll take the work home. I'll never forget this. And she was like, No, we can't do it. I was like, what am I supposed to do? So I was like, I couldn't tell my husband to quit the job. He was making more money, and he had the better health insurance. So it was
Right.
like, what are we gonna do? I was like, well, gotta go. And I said I'll just get freelance work, which that didn't come. And I did a retail work and things like that. And I I was a voracious reader. Always loved romance, loved it, loved it, loved it. And one day I said, I think I had an idea for a story. I said, I think I could write a book. What did I know? And I just decided to write it, and I got tons of rejections after rejections, totally rightly so. And I remember saying to my husband at one night, I remember saying to my husband, looking up at him, saying, "This is too hard," in the bedroom one day. And like he does, very sort of glibly, he said, "Well, you give up too easy," and just walked out of the bedroom. And I got mad, like I do. I was
Okay.
like, "Well, I'll show him." And I just kept going and kept going and kept going
Until someone says, you know
until
what?
somebody said yes. It's like, what was it? The overnight success of 11, I think it was 11 years later, 13 years later. I mean, more rejections than you can even imagine.
So,
I know he probably still regrets to that day challenging me, but he lives to regret challenging me, but he probably did it on purpose. He knows how I
yeah,
am.
yeah. And so,
Like never challenge her because I won't back down from a challenge. So
and now
that's my quick story on that.
and now
Or
he's
not
reaping
so quick story.
right. Well, you good, girl. Now he's reaping the benefits of it. He has a,
No,
God, tell all his friends, like, what your wife do for a living? I'm gonna tell about my wife. She's our USA Today's bestseller.
yeah, he could say that now. Yeah, he could be, and he could, of course, as men do, be like, yeah, it's because of me, because I told her she couldn't, so now she did.
That, we'll
Yeah,
let him have that a little bit. You gonna
we
have
can
it.
let him have it. We can
Let him
let him
have it.
have it.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
So now we know how hard it was for you to get published.
it was very hard. It was very hard those to get to actually get published, but and it's still not easy. Still the rejections come in. I
Woo,
think every writer still sure. It's sure you
shut the
absolutely.
shut the front door, Quana. Are you serious?
Oh yeah, it's you might get from your other. I like this, but no, not for us. And absolutely, I still get rejections.
I didn't
See,
know that.
yes,
Girl, I thought once you was in, you was in. That's it. Like I got a publishing company, bam. I'm just gonna hit these my books. It's a wrap.
no, no, I still get rejections. I still get rejections, and I think plenty. I think there are plenty of writers who still get rejections. Maybe they don't. So listen. you come to me, I'm gonna tell you how it really is. I mean,
Oh,
I'm sure New York Times bestsellers, and there are plenty of people who maybe they don't, but I know I do, and I think there are plenty who are
yeah.
on the USA Today list and things like that. But we still go to our agents and we submit, and the agents send out, and it's like nope. They send to different houses. It's like nope, 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 and then somebody say yes, some say no. Yeah.
Wow.
I've gotten some yeses. I've turned some things down, but I've gotten some no's very not too in the past, and I will tell you the truth about that. Yes,
Oh my God, that is crazy.
yes,
Oh my Lord.
yeah,
Uh,
yes, it's yeah.
I'm over here blown away because I never would have thought that. I thought that,
Oh, absolutely.
I thought that
You,
once
you,
you are in,
no, once you're well, there might be some people once you're in, but no, it's always nerve wracking and scary to, you still have to do those proposals and go out there and,
so that's
polish and
why,
submit and things like that. Absolutely.
right,
And
so
I'm
that's
still
why
like, I'm always learning. I'm always trying to get better with each book, learn and try to make it more. Yeah.
so that's why when you were like, oh, I got a deadline. So you guys like always on a deadline. Do your publishing company give you a deadline? Like you're gonna have this many books. Like when you first start, do you like kind of contract or something like these? How many books I have to have done this year, and have it done by a particular date, or is it just
Well, deadlines. Well, when you have a traditional well, you should even if you're self-publishing too, because I'm hybrid right now. Well, right now my deadlines are for my traditional publishing thing. But when you're on a deadline by your traditional publisher, you have to stick to your deadlines because they have their schedule. If you
okay?
have a traditional contract, they've given you your contract. They have a date when they have to say they have to get your manuscript back, your first manuscript back, if unless you submitted a full manuscript to them. But if you've gone under proposal, you've submitted, say, your proposal, your chapters, your sample chapters to them, and then they say, okay, we need your full manuscript by this date. They need that so that they can get edits back to you, and then they have time for you to go through those edits again and again and again, so that they can meet their schedule to go to copy editors and go through the runs through they need to go through, because it's a whole big machine they have to go through in order to meet their schedule, because they say they're going to put you on the schedule to come out by summer 2020. I'm looking at this 2020, 2021 or something like that. So if
Yeah.
they've told the retail people this is coming out, say May 2021 or June 2021, these people are putting you in the retail schedule to come out this date 2021. They have to deliver it to the stores by this time. So they have to tell the manufacturers they have to be printing by this date. So they have to work backwards from these things. So when you say you're on deadline, you've got to get that manuscript to them by this time, because they have to submit their timing with their editors by certain dates in order to get things back and keep the chain going properly. Otherwise, if you miss it, everybody's got to start rescheduling things.
Yeah.
So they
That
might, your editor who bought your book might have you as a author plus 5, 10, 15 other authors that she or he has to put into their schedule to, read through, do edits, give developmental edits, and then give copy edits. And the copy edits are, a few times to go through copy edits, developmental edits. So it's a whole, yeah. So when we say, oh, we're on deadline, it's like, oh, we're on deadline.
you are really on deadline. That is crazy. So let me ask you this. Okay, so
Mhm.
I read your
This is
latest
probably your most technical interview, isn't it?
but it's awesome no, because now I can sound smart when I'm talking to other authors, like I know something, right? So
I hope this helps other authors who are listening, but that's what it kind of, that's the process. Yeah. Which
this
it's helped me a lot to learn, even though I could learn a lot better about keeping a schedule, but it's helped me to be a little better. This Gemini mind of mine, this haphazard mind of mine with keeping a schedule. I'm
I,
not so good at it.
I absolutely love it. So I saw that your latest novel, Real Men Knit, is under Kwana Jackson, but your
Yes,
other series, your other books are under, is it KM Jackson?
K.M. Jackson.
So what's the difference? Is because one is hybrid and the other one is with traditional. Like why you change?
Well, the difference is not much difference in the my voice is the same. The tone and the writing is the same.
Yeah,
The
I see.
difference is it's under Berkeley Romance, which is a different publisher, and Berkeley really wanted a different name, but it's not a different name because it's my real name. So I'm excited. I'm excited about that. They wanted a different name, and they really wanted to be able to push out a little bit differently with this book and sort of separate it from my my books that I had with Kensington and my
Oh,
series that I had with, because I do have Kensington under my KM Jackson name, and I have my self-published things under my KM Jackson name. So they
okay.
just wanted to sort of have a different kind of brand under that name, and they said, you know, can we go with Kwana Jackson on there? And I was happy to do it, just to sort of make a little bit of a switch and make change. And I was like, you know, this might be a good time to come out under KM Jackson. The my voice is still the same, but I will say it's slightly, these books are a little bit more women's fiction. You know, I would call them, somebody, a lovely reviewer called it community fiction. Community fiction, and then I heard Farrah Rashan describe her books, which is nice. It's sort of romantic women's fiction, so they do have a little bit of a women's fiction bent to it too.
Okay.
So it's romance with a little bit of a women's fiction bent. So there is a bit of a difference. My voice is the same, but it's romance, which veers a little bit into women's fiction. So it is a little bit different.
It's a twist in there. It's a little twist.
It's twisting it some. Yeah. So
Okay.
I would, it does lean a little bit into women's fiction too. So there is a difference there.
Okay. Speaking of,
Not just, it's not straight romance.
it's not sure. Okay.
You
Well,
have a lot of community, a lot of family there. It's not just it's not so much on the it's not all just hero. Not so much. I wouldn't say that. It's not all hero and heroine.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, check this out. You know, speaking of books and all that good stuff, we have a couple of segments that we do here at the Brown Book Series.
I'm excited.
Okay. One of the name of the series is called Name That Book. Well, we take
I will fail.
you're gonna do good. A lot of
You
people that
like my mug? My
huh?
real minute mug.
Oh, I love that. I want one. I love that.
It's the one and only. I got it before the pandemic. I had it made up at Costco. But just to let people know, y'all can make your mugs too.
That's okay.
And this is not sponsored, but they should, shouldn't
They
they?
should. They should. They should.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you get on that, girl. Get on that.
Costco,
Hey,
hit
y'all.
me up, Costco. Hit me up
Yes,
with some wipes that I can't find Costco and some Lysol that I keep running to and don't ever get Costco.
you try BJ's. They be on it. BJ's be on it. Okay, so name that book. When we take a passage or a character or something from one of your books, and you have to name that book.
Funny little fact. People have written to me like, "Oh, when such and such said this and this and this," I'm like, "Who wrote that?"
No, I was interviewing who was it?
I've never remember.
I was interviewing D Rose. And she was like, "What? Oh yeah, okay." So such and such, like she was. She was like,
Yeah. We sort of we write it and forget it. It's like, oh, good, the word's out. Deadline, on to the next deadline. You know, like I was saying, it does. If you're traditional or if you're self-pub, you have strict schedules, and I know self-published authors, traditional authors, these schedules are tight,
yes,
tight. And to get if you're self-pub and you're doing your own editing, or if you're hiring an editor, lots to hire, you know, to get a good editor when you're self-pub, good editors are so important, and their schedules are tight too. So you got to stick to that schedule also.
you just write it and forget it. Like, honey, listen, now,
You write it, you're like, okay, moving to the next line, to the next one. Ready? Okay, next story. It's hard. It's
well,
hard to
look,
come up with.
well, look, Kwana, I'm sorry, you finna play this game, honey. We're gonna keep
Oh, I tried to get out of it.
No, you can't get out of it.
Okay, I'm gonna do it.
I'm Sagittarius. I know these Gemini minds. You're not gonna mind with me. No, no,
I
no,
was
no, no.
trying to jump. You saw me trying to flutter and flip it, right?
Yeah.
I
No,
tried.
no, sorry. I'm right
I
here.
totally understand, D.
Look, we friends now. I got you, girl.
Okay.
Name that book. I'm gonna read to you the passage.
I'm looking at my books on. Uh-oh.
This one gonna be easy. This one is
Okay.
gonna be really easy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Name that book. Oh hell, Lexi grown. Your reputation? What about mine? I'm supposed to be a stylist. Look at me. Name
Oh, Is that too well? Is that too sweet to be good, or as good as the first time? Oh, Lexi, Lex. Uh,
Hey man, let me put it back up there for you. I'm supposed to be a stylist. Look at me. I'm gonna give you this one.
It's got to be as good as the first time, or too sweet to be good. Because Lexi, isn't that Alexandria?
Mm-mm.
Oh, oh, Romance and the Fashionista. Oh, how I forget about Romance and the Fashionista. She's a
That's what I
stylist.
said.
Sorry,
That's when I learned about Kwana Jackson. I'm like, what? Stop!
I don't know my book.
I'm all into style. Like,
I should have known. Look, see,
this,
so
this is cracking you up right now, huh? Okay,
I'm gonna fail.
you're gonna do good. I'm telling you, you're gonna do
No, I'm
good.
not.
All right, should I'm not.
No, I'm not.
All right, name that book. Character. Sabrina Jacobs.
Mm-hmm. That's bounce, bounce or bounce back.
Yes, bounce
She's
back.
in both books. I love
Yeah.
her.
I love, yeah, the book too. She is awesome. Okay, name that book. You're gonna get this one too. I'm telling you, you're gonna get this one.
Okay.
Okay, you ready? Look, I'm telling you, she'll be looking like you. Okay. All right. Name that book. Are you blushing? She gave him a glare. Shut up. You know I don't blush.
Ooh,
Mhm.
that sounds like each one of my heroines. They always say stuff like "shut up."
Yeah.
Mm. Oh, I have no clue. She gave him a glare. Shut up. You know I don't blush.
You know I don't blush, honey. That was
Mm.
Mika.
Gabby
No.
through the lens. Oh,
It's
oh, me.
Mika.
Oh,
Mika out there in that alley with Alejandro. Alejandro.
that's one of my favorite sex scenes against the tree.
Okay. Look, are you blushing? Look now. Are you blushing? What you doing? I love
Yes.
it.
I need to turn my air conditioning back on because I just that was one of my first that was one of my first was that was my first yes that book had my first yes and it was my favorite one of my favorite sex scenes which was the one against that tree.
Girl, I tell you, it's one of my favorite. Yeah. All right. Last one. And you're gonna get this.
Wait, no, I probably will not.
No, this you better get this one, Quana. This is the reason
I'm
why
gonna,
we all here today.
okay,
Name
so I'm gonna say it's from Real Men Knit. Oh, Mama Joy, yes.
Yep. Mama
Oh, Mama Joy,
for real minute. All right.
the off-screen character that we never see.
Yeah, which is yeah, but I love this one. I can kind of relate to this one. I love this book. Can you tell us a little bit about Real Men Knit? Just give us a
All
little
right, after me
story
sweating from
about
failing the thing, I don't know my own books. Okay, tell about Real Men Knit. Okay, well, I have a copy.
yes,
I only love this cover.
I do too. I do.
I love this way. Our Tim's, the Timberland boots. Okay, Real Men Knit
That's what I'm sorry. Hold
is
on. Side note, that's what got me those Timberland boots. I was like, that is
that wait, look, look, that's what gets everybody. The boots are what gets everybody.
yeah.
Uh Real Men Knit is the story of Jesse Strong and his three brothers, Damien, Noah, and Lucas. And we just talked about her. Their adoptive mother, Mama Joy, has just passed away, which is just heartbreaking from them because that's their mama, and it's heartbreaking for the whole community because she was such a pillar of the community and helped everybody out. Well, Mama Joy ran a knitting shop, and she ran a knitting shop in the community. It's in Harlem. It's this fictional shop in Harlem. I can actually. It's so strange because I feel like if I was to drive down 8th Avenue, I would see
See?
Strong Knits because it's become so real to me, and I actually like sort of like have just sort of just placed it there in my head, and it's like so every time I drive through, I'm like, why is it not there? Why is it not there? Like, why can I get? I should just get a boat. Make a boatload of money and open up Strong Knits. It would
You
just be.
should.
Yeah,
You
I
should.
should. It would be fantastic. It should be there. So she's passed away, and they have to decide what to do with the shop. The rest of the brothers think they should close it down, and they can make some money, sell it off and sell the building, because it's Harlem real estate. and
Right.
Jesse wants to keep it open. And they're like, well, how can you keep it open? He's the youngest and the most, I'll say, ne'er-do-well bohemian brother who doesn't have his life together. And there's a shopkeeper, Carrie, who has grown up with them and around the shop and around Mama Joy. And she's had a secret crush on Jesse forever. But Jesse's kind of a ladies' man. And
Yeah.
she decides to help him to get things together and keep the shop open. And it's their story of growing together, getting the shop together, and falling in love. So that's Real Men Knit. And yeah, it's a little it's a fun book, but it's a lot. It's about community and love, getting your life together and grief, and it's a lot there. Yeah.
Yeah, even though the brothers were kind of in a disagreement about the shop or whatever, I like I love their relationship. I love the way how you wrote their relationship. I cannot wait. I heard that Lucas is next.
Lucas is next. I'm
Next.
so excited for Lucas coming up next. Um Lucas will be out next summer. His story is done, but not done. Since I've told you the process, and
Exactly right. Yeah.
the process, he will still be going through, the process. But I finished the story and it's handed in. We're going through the process of notes and stuff. So I'm sure things will happen with him. But Lucas, um, he really, I'm so like, yeah, they all feel, it's like when you write a character, they feel so real to you. And Lucas is like right, like he's on my heart right now. He's like right
Yeah.
there with me because it's like Lucas was like he's like my pandemic brother, like writing him all through the pandemic, and he was like just there and with me. Yeah. My poor baby Lucas, I put him through it, and he put me through it, and yeah.
Oh, I cannot.
I'm excited to share his story with everyone.
I'm
He's the
excited.
firefighter brother, and
Yes.
he's the one he's the one in the first book who seems to have it all together. But don't we all seem like we have it all together?
Yes, until love comes, and you just be like, hold on, what didn't happen, honey?
What
Why?
has happened to me? Yeah, why? So yeah, Lucas's story will be coming out, and it's I'm thrilled to share it with everybody, and and tell it, and I'm happy. Um, Writing Real Men Knit was, I'm thrilled that Berkeley decided to pick it up, and they sort of got the concept of
Doing.
these different race brothers, and
Mm-hmm.
how family and community sort of can be what you make it. Doesn't have to be biological, but the
Right.
love is still there,
Yeah.
and you know men can be strong but cry and grieve and all that, and knit and
Yes,
still be sexy.
with
Yeah.
their Timberlands on.
That's
With
right.
it, Kwana, speaking of
Yeah.
sexy, it brings us to another segment in the Brown Book series
Let's do it.
called Who'd You Rather?
Oh God.
Well, we take a male character from one of your books and
Hmm.
you let us know, well, male characters, and you let us know who'd you rather and why.
Uh,
You looking
this is
around, your
this is
husband,
this,
Ronnie.
listen. He's used to me, and he works in IT. He's like, your computer. Why does it look like this? I'm like, it's research, dear.
It's research, babe. Sorry.
Research.
I love it. All right, you ready?
Yep.
Who'd you rather? Jesse Strong or Clayton Morris? Don't you just love me?
No, not even a little bit right now. Oh my goodness. This
Mm,
stinks. What do you just really? This is bad.
yeah.
This is bad. My friend had me choose K-pop idols last night because I love K-pop. She's like, "Tell me your top biases." I was like, this hurts, and now this hurts. Oh, uh, oh, I feel like I'm betraying my. You know what? How strange. I really don't think about these would you rather's, and now I feel like I'm betraying my heroines.
Yeah. Is that messed up?
That is messed up. Like I feel like I'm like like doing something forbidden to my girlfriend.
Yeah. Listen, you try to
I never
sidestep me.
thought about it that way
You,
because
you
I'm
just,
like, oh, what would Carrie think? Oh,
Kwana,
I'm gonna have to fight this girl.
Kwana. You trying to
Okay.
sidestep me again?
Yes, I am.
Who would you
Okay.
rather?
I'm gonna say.
Bestselling or Clayton
I'm going
York?
to say Clayton.
I knew you was gonna say Clayton.
Did you?
I did. I said Clayton because I love a little firefighter, honey. Oh, oof.
I'm saying Clayton. I'm gonna say Clayton. I'm giving it to Clayton for the win. Something about that firefighter dad. I think he's got some hidden depths, and I think he's got that seasoned experience. Even though I do like young men, but I'm gonna say Clayton. He
Okay,
seems a little. He's not as sweet as he seems. He's a little dangerous.
okay. You gonna have an entanglement with them all. I know it. I know it, girl. I know it. Okay, who'd you rather? This one easy. You got. And let's see. Mark Thorne or Nick Ross?
Mark Thorne.
I knew you. I said Mark too because Nick got on my
Mark
nerves.
Thorne.
Yeah.
Mark Thorne. Mark Thorne is one of my favorite heroes. Yeah, Mark Thorne took me a long time to get over. Um, He's from Seduction's Canvas, and I wrote Seduction's Canvas, and something about Mark Thorne with his motorcycle riding,
Mm,
alpha self,
mm.
rooftop sex having.
Yo, your sex scenes be off the
Yeah,
chain.
he was really hot. That when I went on to write when I went on to write, what did I write after? I wrote Threads of Desire after, and I love Nick. Nick is so fun. Nick, I had a lot of fun with Nick. Nick is so grumpy and fun.
Yeah,
And my favorite scene in Threads of Desire is the sexy scene with Nick making grilled cheese because I love a grilled cheese, and there's a sexy grilled cheese scene in that one. But Mark Thorne, I couldn't get over him that through half the book of writing poor Nick's book that I kept calling Nick Mark. I kept writing Mark's name.
see.
That's how. Yeah, Mark messed me up.
Okay, yeah, Mark. Yeah, I was like, I was with Mark. Okay, last one. Who'd you rather, Carter Bane or is it Aaron or Aaron?
Aaron,
It's Aaron. Okay,
Aaron.
Aaron Manning. Which one? I was about to
Mm,
type this one.
I'm gonna say. Oh,
Hmm.
let me see. Carter was such a pain in the butt, wasn't he?
Hmm.
He was a pain.
Yeah.
So will I say Aaron? But I always like the bad boys. Like I like
Yeah.
those
Okay.
pains in the butt.
Carter was a pain. He had a little something with him. It was something that made you still
Yeah.
want to talk to him a little bit. Just like, mm.
Oh, I gotta think. What did Aaron do? What did Aaron do for a living?
Aaron, let me think too. Oh,
Let me see. Like,
look,
my book's right. Eva. I'm gonna say Carter.
we still what did
He
Aaron
might
do
be
for you?
fun.
He might be.
I think Carter. I think Carter because I feel like Carter might have some hidden depths. Yeah, Carter. Yeah. Would I rather with Carter or would I rather with Aaron? Hmm.
Hmm.
I'm gonna say Carter.
You
I
say
feel
Carter?
like Carter might. I feel like Carter might be a little bit more surprising in the bedroom.
Okay. All
I
right.
feel like Carter might go. Carter's cute and sweet and funny, but then I feel like he's got this cute Christian Grey side to him. So I'm gonna say Carter. Like suddenly it's like, where'd that come from? Okay, let's try it. Okay, let's do
Yes. Okay, I'm with it. I'm with it. Oh, Carter. All right. Another
it.
question. We almost winded down our interview. This has been
Okay.
a great
You're
interview.
so fun. You're so much fun. This is cute. I'm like I've thought of them like this, but I think of them like this as I'm writing them, and like not after. I'm like, oh,
See, we love it. All right. Dead or alive. If you were hosting a dinner
better.
party and could invite
Mm,
5 people from any era, who would it be?
this is I've been thinking about this, and this is such a hard question.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
My short and quick answer is like 5 K-pop idols, and let's just have a fun party and just I'm like sing and dance for me, please do it, be cute. My top 5 K-pop idols.
Hey, I'm with it.
I'm like, can we have JB from Kai? This and that one. Can we do that? But that oh if we got serious. But then I would be so sad when the party's over and I can never see him anymore. I would say Prince
Oh, ooh,
for
that's a party right
sure, but it would just be it's so hard. It's like thinking about this seriously. If I had an opportunity to like sit with Prince, I probably wouldn't even need five. It would be
there.
like Prince, Jesus. Let's sit down and seriously talk.
And find out what the hell is really going on.
Find out what is happening and what's going on.
Yes.
Um, President Obama, I'm up to three.
You know,
Uh, I still want to meet my K-pop idol JV right now. This is my current crush. I'm so corny, and I'm trying to
hey,
think of a good one.
invite JB to the party.
Invite JV to the party, but he can't speak. He doesn't. He does. I don't. We can't even talk. He needs an interpreter. That's going to take up my foot. One that seems like no. Oh goodness. I don't know. I feel like if I could sit down and talk with Jesus, that would probably be enough. And just be have a one-on-one. That's all I need. Tell me what's happening right now. It's the COVID. How's this gonna work out? I know you know. I know you know Jesus.
Okay.
I
So,
know
yeah,
you know, but I don't know.
you need
That's
to
a
know.
really hard question. It's a really hard question when you think about it, because it's like these five at a dinner party, but then after the dinner party, if you have people who are dead, they're not going to come back. Like I would really love to sit with my grandmother and my
Right.
brother who's passed away,
Hmm.
but then I feel like after they're gone, I'd just be sad again. So I don't know if I could take that party. So it's a really, it's tough. So maybe I'd have to have just people who are alive that I could have the hopes of having dinner with again.
That's cute.
I think way too hard on these fun questions who are supposed to be fun. So I'm just like, let me just choose K-pop idols. Let me choose people that I might be able to see again. Because if they're people who are dead after party's over, I'm like,
It'll be
yeah,
sad. I
I'd
get
be
it.
sad.
Okay, so it's the five top K-pop for you.
Probably
And
something
Jesus.
like that,
And
or maybe Keanu Reeves, maybe or four top K-pop and or three top K-pop and Obama. Let's talk about how to really get around this and three and Keanu Reeves and since I'm currently writing my How to Marry Keanu Reeves in 90 Days book, which comes out next year also. So you know I need more
really,
Keanu insight. Yes.
girl. Okay, wait. We're gonna talk about that in the next interview. The next,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I have a contract. I'm doing that for forever with Grand Central. So that's what I'm currently working on. So I'm like, Keanu, can you just sit here with me while I write a couple of chapters? That would be fun.
Oh, Keanu and Kwana. That would be hot.
That sounds good.
That sounds good.
Don't tell my husband, but that sounds great.
He already know. He looked at your computer. He knows.
He definitely already knows. Given the fact that I have a pillow in my office with Keanu's face.
Oh my God. Oh, that's.
Once again, we're calling it inspiration.
And if I just so happen to call his name in my sleep, it's all research, husband.
These things are research and inspiration. He knew what he was getting into when he married me.
That's what I said in my mind. You already know what time it is. I love it. Okay, Kwana, this brings us to our last question of the interview.
Okay.
But
This
before
is flown by. This is fun. Thank
I
you.
know, thank you. It's been awesome. But before we go, we want to let everyone know how they can get in contact with you. What's your social
Ah,
media handles and all that good
they're,
stuff.
they're all pretty easy. On my website is kmjackson.com. So that's easy. And my Instagram is Kwana Writes, KWANAWRITES. And my Twitter is Kwana Writes also. So pretty easy. You can go through either of those. I'm mostly on Twitter saying stuff I probably shouldn't be saying to get me in trouble, but hey, that's me. So follow me Instagram, Twitter, and on Facebook is under KM Jackson Author.
We absolutely love it. Man, you awesome. This was so much
Thank you.
fun.
This was a lot of fun. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody for coming and watching. Please pick
Yeah.
up Real Men Knit and tell a friend. And check out my KM Jackson titles. If you read Real Men Knit and like it, check out. I got plenty of other things under KM Jackson. So many people are like, I didn't know that you were the same person, but I am.
It's her. She is her. This is she. This is the. I love.
I did a little Parent Trap post. I'm like, she's her, same person. Sister is the
Oh,
we
that would be hot though. You should do a split screen. You know, with one
I
with Quinn
did.
and the
Yeah,
other. Yeah.
I've done a couple of those split screens. I'm like, look, yeah.
Oh, that's hot. I'm gonna have to look that up. Okay, last question.
I'm
Ready?
ready.
If you were writing a book about your life,
Ah,
what would the title be?
I've had this one. What looks like crazy on an ordinary day. I'm stealing that title.
Did you say what looks like crazy on an ordinary day?
Hmm.
I love it. You know what?
I'm taking from one of the greats, but it actually fits.
I love it. All right, everybody. Kwana Jackson, go pick up
Thank
Real
you.
Knit. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Shay Baby. Thank you so much. This has been a real pleasure. I appreciate it.
Brown Book, love you. Have a good one. Thank you, sweetie.
Thank you.
Open up your brown book, baby. It's for you, it's for us. The fantasies, no one can judge us, no one can judge us. This is for us. Open up your brown book,